Welcome. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy for you guys all to be here to kick off our Notary Public Day Extravaganza, which is actually Notary Public Month, we should call it. But thank you all for coming. I'm so appreciative. And thank you so much, Elaine Wright Harris, for joining us. I said to her before we started, she needs no introduction. I'm sure that you guys all know Miss Elaine, but she does a ton of mentoring and teaching. She's nationally recognized. She teaches at colleges in Maryland. She's been a notary for, is it over 23 years, Elaine?
Yes, 23 years plus.
23 years. And I know you've gone to her Notary Public Day in the past, hopefully. And if you haven't, then you should go next time she puts it out. It's amazing. She was an NNA Notary of the Year. She's an NNA ambassador and a wonderful person and an amazing, amazing trainer. So without any further ado, I am going to turn this over to Miss Elaine. I do want to say, if you have any questions as we go through, please put them in the little Q&A box and we'll try to answer throughout the session and at the end. And certainly feel free to chat amongst yourselves in the chat. So Elaine, I'm turning it right over to you.
All right, thank you. I'm so excited. We're going to kick off our Notary Public Day event. Now, I'm going to show you how you can easily develop a website on your own. Some of us can pay others to do website, but you can develop a skill in order to create your own website. Before I got into the notary business, I had gone to school for 2.5 years at night after I got off from work to become this web designer that I just love. And it was 2 months prior to me getting my certificate of web design when someone came to my home to do a refinance, and that was it. I said, I want to be a notary. I want to learn how to close loans. And one morning I woke up, let's say a couple of years later, I said, why am I letting this skill go to waste? Why don't I teach others? So as a result of that, I teach you how you can develop your site. You can choose to do it with the platform that I am with, or you can get an idea and go and select another platform. The point is, you can do this yourself. All right, so I'm going to teach you the skill, and then you would have to invest in a platform. My platform is very expensive, but right now we just want to know how you can develop a site. So let's say here we are, you have purchased the platform and you're about to start, and you would see something like this on the platform that I am with. So it says, okay, what kind of business do you have? And all you would have to do is type in notary. All right. And once you put in notary, you just tap continue. And you're going to hear me say tap, click, tap, click. All right. So what are we going to call our business? So I'll just give the business name what I have, which is my business name is Trusted Agent Services Group, LLC. This can always be changed. Hit tap on continue. And physical address, I don't think I want to put my physical address there now. Tell us a little bit about your business. And we could just, let's see, I can say something like, let me go over here and say something like, I provide accurate and superior mortgage services. Let's see, my business provides. All right, and you can just do that. And you can put anything you want there. But we'll just do this and see what happens and tap continue. Now it's trying to develop a default home web page. Now, when we talk about a website, we talk about web pages. A website is created from different web pages. You know, we talk about a home page, we talk about a notary page. And so we're going to go over 4 notary pages that you can develop, but you can do as many as you want. But I want to let you see how it works. So here we are, expert notary services near you. So the fact that I said something about notary, it was able to go and pick up information and put here. But then as I look at this, and I look at this web page, this is the home page, as you can see over here, if you follow my mouse here. This is the home page, and it's nice, but I want to customize it to me. And so what I would do is I would start with the image. Maybe I want another image. So watch how easy it is. You see the mouse, to just simply tap here on the image, and over to the right, you're going to see that the image came up here. All right. So once I tapped on the image, it gave me different ones here, but right here, if you can see this, it says change image. Yeah, I think I want to change the image. So I will tap here. And the good thing about this is that you can bring in your own images, and there will be some default images here. I'm going to select this particular image, and to the bottom right, just simply tap on insert. And there it is. My image changed. But then again, as I look at this, I want to know, are there any more formats that this image could come in? So let's do this. Follow me with my mouse here. I'm going to tap on theme, and I will try a new look. So now you're going to see with that image, you can scroll down. You might say, oh, I like this one, or I like that one, or I like this one right here. So you have quite a selection that you can select from. And I usually select the one that says element, which is right here. So right here, I just simply tap, select, and there it is. It's right there. Expert notary services near you. And you can always change this wording if you choose. But this is basically a header page. Now, if you see this button here, it says schedule an appointment. Well, you may not want that there. So if that is the case, you simply just tap on schedule the appointment, go over to the right, because this is your navigation here, and I'll select the forward arrow here, and I'll say, let's turn this button off. Now watch, when I tap on this button, that schedule the appointment is going to go away. All right. And so I can just say done here. I'm done here. Now it's asking me, well, would you like a promotional banner? So you're going to see just a lot of tap and choose the selection. Watch when I turn on this promotional banner. Look at the top above the image. And there it is. Now, if you follow my mouse here, now that, let's say Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, you can put in whatever you want. You can put in something about your business. I say happy Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving. You can put in something about Christmas, whatever you want. And if you notice over here, it actually placed it there. Now I'm going to say done. So now let's move on down. Now remember I said a website is composed of web pages. Well, we happen to be on the home page. Now the home page is composed of sections, okay? We just completed the header section. And now we're going to come down to another section. Now, something that is nice about this is the fact that I actually have a template of wording that one could have. So let me show you that as I bring this over here. Okay, and that makes it easy. So I have a template of wording. We're going to work with a home page, a notary page, a typic page, and a contact page. But remember, you can have up to 20 pages. So we're going to say, come on down here, follow the template. And I'm ready. I've developed the header section. And so we're going to go to the next section. So this is my guide here. And we did a promotional banner. All right. So the next section here would be a little bit about your company. So I'm going to move this here. I just want to let you know I'm working from a template. Okay. So I want to talk about three things here. So I'm going to say, you know what, this particular section here, I think I want another format. So follow my mouse and it'll say add a section. All right, so we come over here and I want this sort of to be about my business, so to speak. So I will go over here and I'll say, ooh, give me this particular template here or this particular section, but you could have different sections. So we're going to say add and watch what happens to the left. All right, so it added that section. That's pretty good, but I want to talk about the mobile notary services that I provide. So, oh, and by the way, in case you see me looking to the right, I'm working from 2 monitors. So I'm going to go over to this monitor where my template wording is, and I'm going to copy mobile notary services. I'll come back here, and this is what you see. I'm going to tap 3 times. All right, and then I will paste that information there, mobile notary services. And what are we going to say about mobile notary services? I already have the wording here. Copy, 1, 2, 3. I offer mobile notary services, which means I can come to you, whether it's your home office or public location. Okay, and the next thing we're going to talk about is the mortgage closing services for those of you who have a closing business, right, where you close loans here. And I'll put that there. And the wording, I would say, I would put that here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, take a look here. So there's an extra space there. So it's as easy as taking your mouse, putting it to the left of the provide, and just hitting the backspace button. And the next point I want to talk about as far as my business is concerned is the area that I service. So you could put the city or you can put the county, whatever you choose. I'm just simply giving you ideas to work with. So I would say provide mortgage closing services, and I am actually in Maryland. I'm in a county called Prince George's County. And then, you know, I could list 5 counties if I want to. So wherever you provide services. But now we're looking at this particular section and something's not quite complete. I would like to add the images that I choose, right? So let me tap here on this image and look to the right. I can just come over here, come down and say change image. And if I'm talking about mobile notary services, I may want to put this here and do an insert. And that was sort of representation of the mobile services that I provide. I'll tap on this image here, letting everybody know that I also provide mortgage closing services, change the image, and let's see what I would want for that particular image here. Let's see. Oh, I think I would want that. But remember, you can add your own images. And then the service area, I'll tap that, and I have an image of the county that I service. And there we go. All right, so this is about Trusted Agent Services Group. Now I want to talk a little bit about me on my homepage. So what I can do, I like this format. So what I'm going to do, watch me here, these little 3 dots here, I tap here, and I say duplicate this section here. All right, so as you can see, it has duplicated that section just like that. And so I'm going to say here, about Elaine Wright Harris. And you can put in, of course, whatever you would like here. Get rid of that little line at the top there, that extra space. I'll just put with over 23 years of experience as a notary and or a typic or whatever, I possess the knowledge and expertise to handle your notarial and mortgage needs. So you can customize this as you choose. Now let's talk a little bit about, let's see, that was about Elaine Wright here. And I think, okay, with over 23 years. Now a little bit more about my credentials here. Let's see.
Elaine, what platform are you using for your website?
I have my own platform.
Okay. If someone
And
wanted to look for a platform, where would they, like, do you have any suggestions? User
yeah,
friendly?
yeah, I will give you that in the end.
Great, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so let's see, mortgage closing services. And oh, you know what? And then my commitment. This is actually my credentials. I didn't change that. My credentials. And then the next one would be, because now we're talking about ourselves. We're not talking about the company per se at the moment. My commitment. All right, so let me get my commitment here. And Marcy, make sure I'm on, keep me on track time-wise.
You're doing great.
All right. So, let's change the images to meet what we're speaking of. So we go here and let's see, I would want to find an image of myself. And there we go. Now, if you notice, my head is kind of cut off, isn't it? So I can go right over here to the right and just take my mouse and just bring it right down. And you just can't imagine 20 years ago, I learned all of the basics, but it is so easy now. It is so easy for us to develop our own sites. Now, my credentials, I could tap there, I would go here, and let's do an NNA certification here. And then my commitment, I think I always like this right here. All right, so there we go. We just talked a little bit about ourselves. But now, we always want to talk about privacy policies, the way we handle it, and the fact that we talk a little bit about unauthorized practice of law. So let's take a look here. Let's create another section, right? So all we have to do is come here, add a section. I will go here to general here, and then come on down to content. And try to find a nice format. Let's see. This looks like a nice one to talk about a privacy policy information. All right, so all I would have to do is just come over here to my little template wording here. And 1, 2, 3, privacy policy. And I just simply say your privacy is very important to me. And we don't need to contact us. So I will, at this point, tap here and then just turn that button off. Watch, it just goes away. All right, so I like this format because now we're going to talk about unauthorized practice of law. So I'll just come here and say, hey, let's duplicate this format here. And I will put the title that I want to talk about. And my law, so you have to check your state laws, but in Maryland, in our handbook, it has exactly what you should put when you talk about, well, really, when you do any type of advertising. All right. So now, what are we going to do about this? Well, we don't need this. So all you do is just tap on a little trash can here, and we delete this particular section. We can also delete this section here. And it has a contact session as a default, but we're going to develop a contact page. So I will delete that section there. But sometimes people want it on their home page. It's strictly up to you. And so now we don't want this one either. So the good thing about it too, with all of us, most of you are on social media, you're able to actually connect with your social media account. I love social media accounts, but I also feel that a website is you. You have the opportunity to actually show all the information to the public that you want. All right, so we don't want that either. And we don't need this one. Now watch this. All right, so we come up here and this is nice, but let me show you how you can add color. If you look over here to the right, the background color, these are the default colors. But you're able, you see right here where it says edit theme colors, you can add whatever color you choose that works best for you, but just for simplicity, I will work with the default colors. So let's say I tap here. What happens? It seems like the wording color changed. Let's say I tapped here. Well, I think I have to tap in here first. All right, so I tapped in my header section and you see how it changed the color, but let's see what this color would be like, or let's see what this color would be like. So let's say you had a favorite color of purple, it would automatically give you 3 colors that blends in. So I'm going to keep this here, expert for this color. Then you can come down here and you may want this color here, and you may want this color there, but it's, all in what you choose here, and keep it that color, and come down here to privacy, and you could do that. So the idea is you can change the different colors. Now let's see what the public sees. See right here where it says preview? And if you scroll down, everything is meshed together. All right. Now you want to know, well, what does it look like for us with smartphones? So I come over here and I can tap here and you'll see a view as to what it would look like for those of us who will see it on a smartphone. All right, so now let's go back and edit. And you basically have just completed your home page. So let's see what it's like to develop another page here. So let me go down here and we're going to look at the notary page here. So let's see where it says site navigation, that plus sign, we're going to add a page. And we're going to call it Notary. Okay, and see right here it says showing navigation. So you see how it added it there. We had the home page, we had a notary page. But if we look down here, there's no navigation. And I always like for my navigation to be at the end of the page too. So watch what happens. Look there at the bottom. I'm going to click on the button that says show footer. And there it goes. It shows the footer. However, we want the footer for the home page too. So I'll just simply go back up here, click on the little gear button, page settings for the home page, and watch. See, the notary is showing, but once I tap on the show footer, then the home page shows too. So let's do that and let's go back to notary. So here we are at the notary page, and we want to pick a format for the notary page. So watch me here, come over here, let's do general and let's do content. And I kind of think I like this for the notary page. All right, so I begin probably working with the image. So I just tapped on the image, come over here to my right, change the image. So what we want to change to? This looks nice. Somebody stamping the document. So I have my image there. Again, you can put whatever you want. So here I'm going to say, what is a notary public? For someone, who's interested in a notary, tap 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and just put the header there. And I've taken the definition from the National Notary Association. And of course, I would give them credit for it, and I would get rid of this extra space. So that's what's a notary public. Now, the next thing is, I would talk about my commission, because some of you may be commissioned in more than one state. You want to let them know. And also my membership. So watch this. Watch this here. I would say, all right, let's see how this works. All right, so I'll just backspace so it can be flush with the margin here. I'm commissioned in the state of, and I will put Maryland, but of course you can put whatever state or states that you're commissioned in, okay? So I'll just do that. Get rid of this other. And the next thing we're going to talk about is membership. And of course, most of us are a member of the National Notary Association. All right, that looks pretty good, but we want to add just a little bit more to it. So watch this. I'm going to highlight both of these sentences here. And here you can make it a bulleted item. That makes it look just a little bit better. Now we're going to talk about what area do we cover and what's the fee schedule. All right, so I would come here. I would talk about coverage area. And I'm going to talk about the fee schedule. Now for the coverage area, I would just put the counties. So if you're in more than one county, you just put however many. Prince George's, I'm gonna put Charles, however many you want. And then the fee schedule would be, you can put whatever you choose. I'm going to put this. All right, now if you notice, if you can see this, there's just a little extra space, and I'll just get rid of that little extra space so everything would be aligned to the left. Notarization, mileage, and administrative fees are charged as regulated by, and of course, I will put Maryland. All right, that looks okay, but I want to add just a little bit more to it. So I would take the coverage and I'll bold that, because we're talking about the coverage area. We're talking about the fee schedule. I would bold that. Then I can come in here and just put a bullet here and put a bullet here. And that looks just a little bit better. The next thing we're going to talk about is what services as a notary do you provide? So these are the things you can think about. Okay, so watch this. Let's see, notary services provided. You may provide your services to these different areas here. Get rid of that extra space there. And I would also just make this a bullet. Now, you may have others, and you may not, some of these you may not want, but this just gives you the idea of what people may be looking for that comes to your website. Also, they may want to know, well, what experience do you have with documents? Okay. And you can say, ooh, I do acknowledgments, I do affidavits, I do school permission slips. All right. And then you may want to go as far as saying, hey, look, this is what you can expect when having documents notarized. Get rid of the little extra space there. And you can make this a paragraph or you can add bullets. The document signers requesting the notarization must appear before the notary public. The signer must present acceptable identification. So that would be nice. And you can also, I'm not going to do it because of time, we want to get through this, but you may also want to add your privacy policy here also, okay? So in the same way we did the others, you could just, let's see, let's color it this and whatever color you choose to coordinate. So there you are with the notary page. So let's see what it's like for those of us who are signing agents. What kind of information would you want to share on your website here? So I'm going to put here NSA, and if anybody here from Maryland, of course, we will put Tippett. Okay, and we also wanted to show in the footer as well. So let's see what we do. We add a section here. So we can be consistent here with our sections. Okay, and let's see what kind of image we may want here as we talk about our services. I kind of like this one here, but you can have anything you choose. Okay, so the first thing you may want to talk about is yourself here. You could even put your image there if you choose. I'm a licensed title insurance producer, and those of you in other states, you would be notary signing agents, of course. You know, I can assist you with mortgage and mortgage loan closings by providing loan closing services at your client's convenience, okay? So you're kind of talking to the title you're all about training that you have. And mind you, these are just suggestions. Okay, and you could even say something like certificate provided upon request of whatever training that you're going to talk about. Let's see what I have here. Okay, let me make this bullet. And you may want to bold this. All right, so there we are there. Talking about whatever certificate and training that you may have. Now, the next thing is you may want to talk about the services that you provide as a notary signing agent. Okay, so you may say, you know what? I do home equity line of credit, I do hybrid closings, I do loan modifications, whatever you choose to put here. Okay, now what is your fee schedule? That's always important. And I would say these are negotiable. And you may want to say something else. That's completely okay. Now, what's your availability? And I'm not going to put that there for time, but you could put what your availability is and the areas that you coverage. And then you also definitely want to say something like you don't give legal advice, and you can put that there. And if you did that, we probably could make that another section about not giving legal advice here. Let's see, content, this particular format. And I hope you can appreciate the simplicity of this. Okay, so you talked about legal advice. You can also talk about privacy policy, and you can also get rid of this particular button. And the same way we work with the other one, we tap here in the space, and then we can color code it the way we want. You can make this black, or you can make it white, or if you've chosen another color, the colors would be coordinated according to what you've chosen. So we'll keep that there. I'll just make it all black. And let's see what it looks like here. Let's do a preview. And that's what it would look like. Okay, and let's see what it looks like on a smart device. And we'll go back. So the last page would be our contact page. So we'll create a new page, and we'll call it Contact Us. And we want it also to show in the footer. We're going to start by adding a section, and let's do journal content. Let's see. I saw a Contact Us page right here, Contact Us. So you can see here the different formats that you can have for Contact Us. Quite a few formats. I'll just be simplistic here. I will tap on this one. And where this says drop us a line, you may want to say provide accurate services. You can just be as flexible as you want. Now take a look. It's asking for the name, the email, and a message. And what I like about this is, like, sometimes we tend to worry about, do we have to have an email address that matches our domain name? You really don't, in a sense, because what you see here, they just simply tap on a button and then you get that information. So you can work with your own email address that you may have now. Also, you've noticed here, it has name, email, and whatever message they may want to send you. But what can we do without somebody's contact number or phone number? So we want to add that. So what I want to show you here, how you can add different fields. You come over here, scroll down. All right. And by the way, here where you see send message to, that would be your email address, or whatever email address in which you would want to receive messages. So that makes it really neat. So come down here, and we want to add another field. So we want to add contact number. All right, so I'll just put that right here. And we want to make this a required field. Now, when something's a required field, it should have an asterisk beside it. So let me tap here and see where it has contact number here at the bottom. Once I turn that button on, the asterisk is to the right. So that's good, but we want that contact number below the name. We don't want it here at the bottom, do we? So we'll tap on done. And if you scroll down here, All we have to do where it says contact number, take our mouse over these lines, it turns into a hand, and we can just simply move it up. And there it is. Here where you see send, you may want to tap here and you may want to say, tap here to send to me. But you don't have to do that, but I'm just showing you how flexible it is. You can just do that, tap here, and better, and then you can put whatever information you want here. They have hours here. You can choose to work with the hours. Let's say, but you didn't want hours there. Let me show you what you can do. You can simply highlight it, delete, and let's see. This one is gone here. This is saying open today, so that's just your open hours. But most things you can just highlight and just get rid of it or add more to it. So here we are, and let's make this color here. See what it looks like on our preview, what it looks like here on the smartphone. And basically, you've just developed a 4-page website, and what it took about 40 minutes or so. Took about 40 minutes or so. Now, there are different platforms that you can use. I want to go back here. Those of you, feel free to, if you can just take an image of this QR code and that will get you in touch with me in my site. But you can practically choose anyone who produces websites. I'm affiliated with GoDaddy. And so therefore, if you were to come to my site here, let me show you something else. I want to show you what other people have done just from working with this. This is my site that I've developed using that. But if you would come over here to web design, and I always like to tell my story, but scroll down here, and I'll never forget, she came to the class and she said, oh, Elaine, I want to do my own website. So with her own ingenuity, she did her website. Now, as you can see, whereas I talked about 4 pages, she decided she wants 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. And that's absolutely fine. Whereas you can see, I had, like 3 images here. She wanted 1. So this allows you all of that flexibility. And let's take a look at Jason. Let's see. His connection wasn't working last night. Let's see. Teresa. And believe it, this is the person who developed the website. She was working with documents one day, and she said, you know what, I'm going to take a picture of myself and put there. And so now she didn't go down as far with her homepage. She decided to make another page about us. So that's what I like about it. You can be as creative as you like to be. And let's do one more. Let's take a look at the 2024 Notary of the Year, Debbie Bess. This is her website, the way she developed her website. So I am open for questions. If you were to come to my site, you would see all of the other details. But are there any questions?
We have some questions, yes. So
Okay.
the first one is, let's see here. So someone wants a site with no more than 3 pages, and one of those pages will be the contact page. Does your platform allow for that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
And someone asked, is it better to start off with your services and then go into your credentials, or vice versa?
Oh, whichever you prefer, you know what I mean? Whichever you feel is you can do it that way. And now if you were with my platform, and again, you don't have to be, but if you were, this comes along with it, where you can work with the wording and put it the way you want before you get started. All right, another question?
Yes, I just want to say quickly, there are lots of sites. There's Wix, there's GoDaddy, there's WordPress. Who else, Elaine? Can we think of anybody else? There are lots of sites that host You can certainly
Right,
take a look out there and see what you find to be user friendly. Are you
right.
primarily using the website for lead generation? And if not, what is your goal? And how
For
many
the what
clients?
generation?
Lead generation for
You, s-
leads.
I don't understand lead. What do you
So
mean?
are you primarily using the website for lead generation? So is that where you're getting, let me ask this, is that how you get the majority of your customers is through your website?
Oh, okay. Majority of my customers. Well, actually, I have my webs. Okay. My forte is training. So
Mhm.
when training at the colleges and everything, so they'll come to my website. But what I'm doing now, I share how to develop it with my notaries that I work with. And they use now how they get it, they did get it in different ways just by putting it on the business cards, telling people where they are. Well, one girl just put out a newspaper article with her website. So you just have to be flexible in how you market your website, but you just got to let people know what you have. I hope that answers that question.
I think so. So would you advise against separating the content into a services fees page and then an about us page? Seems to be duplicating content. Is that a strategy? I think that's
I
a
just, again, is whatever one feel comfortable with.
yeah, personal strategy, right? Personal
Yeah.
preference.
Yeah, yeah, whatever they feel comfortable with that represents them. What I was trying to do is giving you ideas as to how you can work with it, but it'll be you.
So can customers remit payment on the website for notary services?
And that's a good question. Yes. So now what you're gonna find is when you go to select a website, they may have a basic website, and then they may have a business website, and they may have an executive, well, not site, but plan. Okay. Now, on the what you've seen that I've showed you with the notaries that I work with, basically it's the basic website. But if you want to start accepting money, then you would go to another plan. And of course, that plan would be a little bit more in cost. But
Yes,
you
both.
you can.
Yeah,
And
most of the sites allow you to link to a PayPal or a
right,
Stripe or a OneSquare. It's a separate piece that you would enable.
right. Most of them, well, all of them do really. For example, let's see. Let me just go to my site. I'll show you something here.
And while Elaine's looking for that, you can also use like a calendaring system that allows for clients to book and then it charges that. So you would embed that link into your website as well. So there are multiple ways of collecting payment from your client depending on how you book or where you're asking them to go.
Right. Now, for example, here, this is with once someone selects what they want, they can click here. And like you say, there are multiple ways you can connect. And they want you to connect. So that shouldn't be a problem. So you would be able to connect. And let's see, I already have them. Let's see, that gets you there. Like this connects to a site where it collects the money and they can go on and take the exam. But the answer is yes.
Someone asked about how you created the QR code.
Well, there's something called qrcode.com, and let me show you something else. Let's see. Let me go to my home page. Watch this. You can see my home page, right? I'm simply going to right click, and y'all see QR code somewhere?
Yes, you passed it up right there.
And I copied it, and I simply, put it here. And then you can make it an image. But again, on that web page, you can right click and get the QR code, or you can go to something called like qrcode.com and it'll
Mhm.
guide you through it.
That's a great tip. I didn't know that you could do that. So amazing that you just taught us that. Yes, there's tons and tons of free QR code creators. You can do it in Canva. You can do it at QR. If you just Google it, it'll show right for you.
Right.
Let's see. Then the question is the web page builder address is what? The web page builder address is what? I'm not sure what that question exactly means. Do you know, Elaine?
If you were to go to my site, and this is a QR code, if you all haven't done so, just take your camera and take a picture of this. Not take a picture, but scan it. And you'll be able to get to my site and you would see what was that last question you asked there?
The website builder page address is what?
Okay, right. Now let me show you here. So if you were to go to my site here and come down here, that's how you would purchase the package. So it would be on my site, or you can select some other site if you choose to. But it's all right there on my site. And my homepage, you'll see where it says web design and site purchase information.
Okay.
And
Do you
again, that
suggest,
QR
oh,
code,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
and again, the QR code would get you there.
Do you suggest listing your prices or allowing the client to call?
I would say, it's negotiable. But now, if you're given prices for notarization, well, that's dictated by your Secretary of State, so you can just put that in there if you choose to.
Sure.
But
You
if
could probably do both, right? Like list your base fee and then say there's additional fees for travel or witnesses,
right,
contact us to discuss, certainly.
right, whatever's in your handbook, you can do that. For
Mhm.
signing agents, I would definitely say fee is negotiable.
So let's see. Do you recommend a calendar instead? I think that's probably regarding the payment issue. And I think that that's, again, a personal issue. I require my clients to, for general notary work, I require them to book online because I take a deposit. So I
Yeah.
have them book through my calendar and leave a deposit at the same time. I know lots of notaries don't do this. Just to have a payment um, portal on your website is up to you. I think that that's dictated by how you run your business. Would you agree with that, Elaine?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Any other questions as we wrap up? This was so informative, Elaine. I loved everything about this. And what I loved mostly is that you made it look so easy. I don't know if it's really that easy, but that's how you made it look.
No, it is very simplistic. I'm telling you, especially 20 years ago, what I had to learn 20 years ago compared to what one has to learn now.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
Well, everyone out there, I so appreciate your time. I know your time is valuable and you have a lot going on. I highly recommend reaching out to Elaine if you have any questions, if you're looking to build a simple website. She's been a notary for a very long time, and that's a benefit when it comes to doing something like this because she's aware of what works in the notary space. So, everyone out here, thank you so much for joining us. And Elaine, you are, as always, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise. We're so grateful. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.
And thank you. And bye-bye, everybody. Looking forward to hearing from you.
I'll see you all soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.